Bodhisattvas fear the cause, while sentient beings fear the result. What is it about the cause that even bodhisattvas fear? And why do sentient beings, trapped in the cycle of birth and death, focus solely on the result? Could this difference be the key to enlightenment or suffering? The cause, though small, is extraordinary, like a seed with the power to create a whole forest of happiness or suffering. Meanwhile, sentient beings are so caught up in chasing after results, the things they see in front of them, that they neglect the deeper source. Are we repeating this pattern every day? Hidden in this saying is a long story of cause and effect that we must delve deeper into to truly understand. Cause and effect, an unchanging law in the universe, governed by the principles of all phenomena. It is not only a teaching in Buddhism but a truth in life itself. Whether we believe in it or not, cause and effect silently govern every aspect of life, from the smallest joys to the greatest sorrows. Within this flow, the saying, Bodhisattvas fear the cause, while sentient beings fear the result, becomes a precious lesson and a profound warning. So why do Bodhisattvas fear the cause, while sentient beings only fear the result? In Buddhism, the cause is likened to a seed, a thought, a word, or a small action that contains the potential to create great results. A kind cause leads to happiness, while an unkind cause brings suffering. For an enlightened being like a bodhisattva, the fear of the cause is not in the present moment but in the long-lasting impact it has in the endless cycle of samsara. Bodhisattvas fear the cause because they fully understand the profound law of cause and effect. Every action, no matter how small, is interconnected within the universe. An unwholesome thought is like a seed of poison. It easily takes root, grows, and causes a chain of suffering not only for oneself but also for others. The most frightening thing is not the appearance of suffering, but when the cause is just beginning, when it is small and easy to prevent, yet often overlooked. Understanding this, bodhisattvas are always mindful, guarding their thoughts, words, and actions, like a gardener who diligently weeds out any unwanted plants the moment they sprout. They allow no unwholesome causes to exist, replacing them with wholesome causes that bring peace and liberation to all beings. This is the manifestation of their profound wisdom and boundless compassion, not only for themselves but also for the world around them. Let us reflect on a painful story that recently occurred. At a festival in India, an elephant was used as entertainment to attract the crowd's attention. All day long, the elephant endured beatings and constant teasing from humans. Although it showed signs of fatigue and resignation, when pushed to its breaking point, the elephant reacted violently and attacked the person who had been causing it pain. The person was severely injured and did not survive. This story is a sharp warning. Unwholesome actions, even towards animals, can lead to severe consequences. Seemingly small acts of cruelty can sow the seeds for unforeseeable repercussions. The elephant, a creature that was gentle and patient, ultimately could no longer suppress its anger and acted in despair, leading to tragic consequences. This is a lesson in compassion and responsibility towards all beings. In contrast to the bodhisattva, sentient beings, still lost in the cycle of ignorance, only recognize pain when the bad results have already appeared. When failure, loss, or suffering knocks on their door, they only then feel fear and anxiety. But by that time, the results have manifested, and there is nothing that can be done. The deluded do not see the connection between cause and effect in each of their actions. They live according to fleeting emotions, unaware that every unwholesome action leaves a trace in the stream of karma. When the results arrive, they only experience suffering and confusion, sometimes even blaming fate. Yet few realize that they themselves have planted the seeds for these results long ago. Imagine a company owner who constantly criticizes employees for minor mistakes, such as work oversights or not meeting company goals. Whenever frustrated, the owner loses control and shouts, even comparing their employees unfavorably to competitors. In that moment, the owner believes they are motivating the employees to improve, but fails to realize that their words are creating emotional wounds in them. Years later, those employees, though grown and perhaps moved to other companies, no longer maintain contact or respect for the former boss. They avoid interactions, even at industry events or meetings. When the owner looks back, they may feel disappointed and wonder why the previous relationships have become distant. However, if they look deeper, they will realize that their harsh words and lack of empathy in the past have sown the seeds for this distance. These small seeds have silently grown over time and eventually resulted in an unexpected bitter outcome. This situation is very familiar in society, where many people fail to realize that each action, each word, no matter how small, carries a negative potential that can profoundly impact others. Sometimes, the consequences don't appear immediately, but only manifest when we least expect it, when the relationship has already grown too distant to be mended. Karma is not a punishment or reward imposed by a supernatural force, but a natural law that operates according to the principle of dependent origination, the interconnection between actions and results. The Buddha taught, "No one can escape the law of karma, whether they are kings or the poor." This emphasizes that every action, big or small, cannot escape the influence of karmic law. A talented person, successful in their career but failing to cultivate good causes, who is willing to harm others for personal gain, will ultimately face the consequences they deserve. Likewise, a wealthy person who acquires their wealth through evil deeds such as killing or deceit, despite thriving in the present, cannot avoid the bad results of the seeds they've sown. On the other hand, a person who lives a virtuous life, helping others, may face difficulties in the present, but will reap the sweet fruits of their good deeds in the future, possibly in this life or in future lifetimes. Karma affects not just one life, but spans across the three periods of time: past, present, and future. What we reap today is the result of past actions, and what we do today is the cause for future results. Therefore, instead of just worrying about the consequences, we should focus on the seeds we are planting right now. The path of a bodhisattva is not only about enlightenment but also about transforming awareness into action. Understanding karma requires not only knowledge but persistent practice to change each thought, word, and deed. This is why bodhisattvas are so cautious about causes, understanding that any negative cause will inevitably lead to suffering. In contrast, sentient beings only see the result in front of them, not the deep causes behind it. A person who fails in their career may easily blame fate or others, without realizing that the cause of their failure might be laziness, dishonesty, or the harm they've caused to others in the past. Instead of fearing the results, if we each fear the causes and are mindful of even the smallest of thoughts, our lives will surely change. In the scriptures, the Buddha emphasized that dependent origination is the root of all issues. The story of Queen Malika during the Buddha's time is an example. When she did a small good deed by offering her only bowl of porridge to the Buddha, that cause led to the result of her becoming a queen in many lifetimes. However, the queen also had to endure suffering in a lifetime due to the negative causes she had sown previously. This story teaches us that even the smallest action can lead to significant consequences, whether good or bad. By following the example of the Bodhisattva, we need to cultivate kindness, wisdom, and mindfulness to sow good causes. Good actions not only include giving material possessions but also offering spiritual help, speaking kind words, and having pure thoughts. In today's world, we can easily get caught up in the rush of work, fame, and wealth. Many may ask, why must I suffer like this? However, few can awaken to realize that the causes they've sown, greed, selfishness, or anger, are the deep reasons for their present suffering. A failed entrepreneur may have deceived their business partners earlier. A dysfunctional family may have been torn apart by harsh words or divisive actions from one spouse. Such stories not only serve as warnings but also help us recognize the absolute fairness of the law of karma. We cannot escape the consequences of what we have sown in the past. Each person's life is a series of choices. Every action, every decision, is a seed we plant. When we choose to sow good causes like love, kindness, and wisdom, life will bear sweet fruits. But when we sow bad causes, like selfishness, greed, and anger, suffering will inevitably follow. Following the spirit of the Bodhisattva, we should start with the smallest of actions: keep our hearts pure, do good, and avoid evil. Karma is always fair and never errs. Enlightenment comes only when we truly understand and act in accordance with the Dharma. Remember the saying, the Bodhisattva fears the cause, while sentient beings fear the result, and apply it in every moment of your life. Then, we will not only live a good life and walk the path of virtue, but also spread the light of compassion and wisdom to everyone around us. Dear friends, that concludes today's video. If you have any thoughts or feedback, please leave your comments below. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.